In our video today, we're going to continue looking at how images can be encoded and decoded in binary. Today, we're going to focus on the decoding an image from a string of binary. So if you haven't done the previous worksheet where we learned how to encode the image into a string of binary, I suggest you go and have a look at that worksheet so you can understand the process. But today we're basically going to reverse that process and take a string of binary and create the image from it. What we have here is the worksheet that you'll be doing. This is just quickly to show you what is in the worksheet, and then we'll go through how to do it. So the first page is the instructions and a sample. When you see this sample, we'll be going through this sample in a moment. So through the magic of editing, I'll be clearing this out so that we can do the sample. On page 2, you have 3 grids that are ready for you to do the work on. So again, in this case, the best thing is to just do the work directly into this set of grids, and I'll be showing you how to do that through the example. And the third page is the different binary images in the binary string form that you can choose to convert from. And again, this will be clear in just a moment. So 3 pages to this worksheet to begin with. Page 2 is where you're doing your work with these 3 grids. Page 1 is the sample, and page 3 is the reference material that you need. So I'm going to be zooming in to just look at this sample here. And again, we'll be clearing this out so that we can actually go through how to do it. Okay, here we are zoomed in, and as I said, I've cleared this out. So now we are ready to go through how the sample was actually done. So what you need to do is first of all choose one of the strings of binary from page 3, and you're going to write the number in this space up here where it says binary string number. And you're then going to put the binary into this first box. So the simplest way to do that is simply go to page 3, where we have all this binary, and you can choose one of these 15 strings of binary. Now, obviously, I'm going to be choosing this one for the sample, so you don't do this one in your sample. It will already be on your worksheet done, but please don't use this as one of your pieces that you're doing. But I'm basically going to copy this bit of binary, just a normal copy and paste situation, and I'm going to remember what it's called. You'll be using a number, so make sure you're picking the right number for the binary you copy. And I'm going back up. Again, you'll be putting into one of these 3 in page 2, but I'm going back to page 1 for the sample. So my string is called sample in my case, but again, you'll have a number. I don't know what the image is yet. That's what I'm trying to work out. And I'm simply going to come into this binary box, and I'm going to paste that binary in. Now, once you've got your string of binary, if you remember from the previous worksheet, we talked about how we need to have this as bytes. So we want to basically reorganize this binary a little bit more to make it easier to read. So a byte, remember, is 8 bits. So we're basically looking for 8 bits at a time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So after this 0 here, I want to put a space. Now it's gone down to the next line just because of the way it is at the moment, but that'll change as we go. I want to do the next 8 bits. Well, I know it's going to be here in this case. I'm going to put a space. See, that 1 just jumped back up there because as a string, it's trying to wrap around at the moment, so don't stress about that. The main thing is I'm putting a space in between my bytes of binary. So again, I'm getting 8 more bits to make a byte, 8 more bits to get a byte, another byte. I'm basically just making sure I've got 8 bits at a time to get a byte. So here we can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bytes of binary, which is what I expect because I've got 8 rows here, and each row is going to be a byte of binary. Now I might want to just quickly make this a little bit bigger just to make it clearer, so I'm just going to bump the font size up a bit. There you go, I like that one. So I've got 2 bytes per line. That's okay, I can work with that. Now I'm going to come over to my second part of my grid, and I'm going to convert this binary into the graphic. So like the instructions say on the rest of the page, which we didn't go through, but they're there, you can read it for yourself. And like last week, a 0 is going to represent a clear or a white box, and a 1 is going to represent a filled in box. 1 byte of binary, so this first byte here, for example, represents the first row of binary, of the image. The second byte is going to represent the second row, and so forth. So what I have is 0, 0. So the first square here, the first pixel, is going to be off or clear or white. The second one is also going to be clear. And then I'm going to have the third one across being filled in. In fact, so will the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth. So 4 bytes in a row will be filled in. So as we talked about last time, the easiest thing is to highlight those cells of this table, because really in Word, this is just a table. So we're highlighting those, and we're going to use the fill bucket up the top here to fill those in with black. So what I have is off, off, on, and we finish that byte off with 2 offs as well, which is what we have over here. Second byte, I'm having off, then on, off, 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 on, off. So off, on, so this square here is going to be filled, off, 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 and the second last one is going to be filled as well. I now go to my third byte, and I can see it's only the first bit and the last bit are going to be filled in. So that means this first one here and this last one here are going to be filled in. Now when I look at the fourth byte of information, so fourth line down now, it's going to be on, off, on, and then the same at the other half. So we're going to have on, off, on, so the third one across, and we do the same to finish it. Now we already know that this is going to be that sort of smiley face because we saw it at the start of the video, but at this point, if you were doing this for real, you still wouldn't quite know what this was. It could be a tree or a mushroom, or who knows what it could be. So we keep going. So here we are up to the 5th byte, and again we have the first bit on and the last bit on, but everything else is a 0 in between. So that means this first square will be on, this last square will be on, and that's it. We're now up to this byte here, so we have an on, 2 offs, 2 ons, 2 offs, and an on. So on, 2 offs, 2 ons, 2 offs, and that last one is on. Second last row here, so we have an off, then an on, then 4 offs, an on and an off. So same thing, an off, on, 4 offs, an on, and an off. And the last one we have 2 offs, then 4 ons, then 2 offs. So 2 offs, 4 are going to be on, and 2 off. And there I have completed my image. So I look at that image and I decide, what would I call that? And I'm going to call that a face. And so I'll write what I think the image is up the top. And that is how you take your string of binary and turn it into the image. So what you're going to do is in the page 2, where I've got 3 of these sets of 3 of these grids for you, go and choose any random binary. It honestly doesn't matter which one, because looking at it, you can't tell what it is. Paste the binary in like we just did. Format it to be a bit clearer, including putting a space between each byte and probably increasing the font size and just organizing it a bit more neatly. And then convert that binary into your image in the grid here. Do 3 different images, writing down obviously what string number you did and what you think it turns into. Now, if you don't write your string number down, or if you mix up which string number and you don't use the right binary, when your teacher gets this, they're going to say, oh, number whatever is supposed to be a cloud, and you put the wrong binary, or vice versa, and you've got a different picture, then obviously you're not going to get it right. So be careful that you do keep your string number and the binary from page 3 correct, and then very carefully transfer it across. When you are done, you need to submit this to Schoolbox. Again, technically you only need to submit the second page, but it's just as easy to save the whole document and send the whole thing along, remembering to fill in your name, your class code. Now, some people are getting class codes wrong, right? That is what's on your timetable. So DITE07 and then your home base number. And for some people who didn't realize already, SN is a short abbreviation for student number. So that is your student ID number, something like 2341 da da da. So again, that's what's at the start of your email address. It's what you log onto your computer with. So it's your student number, that SN. Obviously, they don't have anything to do with images themselves, but just a quick reminder because a few people were filling in wrong information on here. Okay, so that's how we do it. We choose a binary, we put it in the box, and then we basically decode it, taking it from binary back to something that we can understand. Good luck, have some fun. So I should just say you are only required to do 3, but feel free to do all of them. And if you really want, as the instructions say, you can always create some of your own as well, and send them to friends and see if they can decode them. All right, thanks everyone, and have some fun with this one.